Hello students and welcome to the next lesson of Python 0 to Hero series. I am so happy to see you in this lesson because we have covered total 10 lessons together till now. If you have not watched any of the videos till now, you can go back and watch them in our playlist. If you have not yet joined the Discord server, do join it to get all the latest exercises, practice questions, updates, discussions and much more. So in this video, we are going to talk about a very important and interesting construct of Python, that is conditional statements. That is, now not every statement of your program would get executed, but they would get executed based on a condition. We will put some checks there that if this condition goes true, execute these set of statements. If this condition goes false, execute the remaining set of statements. So you are definitely going to enjoy this. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So now I'll show you where and how to use these conditional statements. And you remember we had talked about comparison and logical operators, that is and, or, and not. Now this is the time to use all of them. So let's see how. So first I'll take a number as an input from the user, and remember to do the typecasting into an integer. Enter a number. Now I just want to check that if this number is less than 50. So to check this, there is a keyword known as if. So if num, that is the number you have entered, is less than 50, this is a comparison operator. Then you need to put a colon. And as soon as you press enter after this colon, the cursor will not be there at the beginning of the line, but it will be after two spaces or after a tab. This is known as indentation. And now whatever statements we will be writing with these two spaces, those are considered under this block. So that means all those statements will be executed only if the number is less than 50. So suppose I write print, the number is less than 50. Okay. Suppose I want to print something else, like enter one more statement. Suppose nothing special, but you're awesome. So see, whatever statements we are writing, whenever we are pressing enter, all the statements are there with this indentation. So these all statements will be executed if this condition is true. And now, if I write something without this indentation, print I am outside the if block. So this statement will be printed irrespective of whether this condition is true or false. So let's run this. Enter a number. Suppose I enter 34. See, the number is less than 50. You are awesome and I'm outside the if block. So this statement will be executed every time, irrespective of whether this condition is true or false. Like suppose I show you an example when the condition is false. This number is greater than 50. See, because this is outside the block, and these statements will be executed if this if condition goes true. Now, what if I want to have multiple checks within this if? That is, the number is less than 50, but it should be greater than 0 as well. So you can write and num is greater than 0. So this is the and is a logical operator. So this is how you use the logical operators. And you also know that all these, like num less than 50, num greater than 0, these are comparison operators using the less than and the greater than sign. And they always return us true or false, right? And the combination of true and false or true and true also returns us a Boolean value that is true and false. So the if keyword always waits for a true or false condition in front of it. If the condition is true, these statements are executed, else they are not. Okay. Now what if this condition is false? Because right now if this condition is false, nothing is happening. Now I want that if it is greater than 50, I want to do something else. So there is another keyword known as else. Now this is else block. Whatever I will write inside the else block, as many number of statements I write, all of them will be executed when this condition goes false. So I write else print this number is not in the range 0 to 50. And this statement will be executed irrespective of the condition is true or false. And whenever you use this if and else, only one of them gets executed because either the condition is going to be true or false. So either if block will get executed or the else block will get executed. So let's run this. Suppose I enter 79, which is greater than 50. See, this number is not in the range 0 to 50 and I'm outside the if block. If I enter something less than 50, suppose I enter 34. See, if the number is less than 50, you are awesome and I am outside the if block. Now suppose I want to extend this scenario that if it is between 0 to 50, I'm printing something. If it is between 50 to 100, I'll do something else. And if it is greater than 100, I'm doing something else. So now we have multiple scenarios to check. In this case, this program gets one more addition, that is there is a keyword elif, a short form of else if. So when you have multiple scenarios to check, if this is true, do this, else if this is true, do this, else if do this, else if do this, else do this. So the short form of else if is elif. And because it uses a word if, it will wait for a condition. So in front of elif, we are supposed to write down some condition. So we'll write if the number is greater than equals 50 and num is less than equals 100, okay, or 100. So this number is in the range 50 to 100. And if both the conditions goes false, like if it is not between 0 to 50 and it is not between 50 to 100, else. Now else keyword does not need any conditional check. So in front of else you don't need to write any condition, but in front of if and elif you need to. So else print this number is not in the range 0 to 100. Let's run this. So enter a number 34. Let's enter something between 0 to 50 so that if part gets executed. If I enter something between 50 to 100, else part gets executed. If I enter a negative number, -8, this number is not in the range. If I enter something beyond 100, that is 700, this number is not in the range. So this is an example of using only if, or a combination of if else, or a combination of if, elif and else. Now similarly, I can show you one example which is using this if elif letter, that we ask the user to enter the marks, which should be an integer. Then we put multiple checks that if the marks are greater than 90 and less than equals to 100, print A+. If it is greater than 80 and 90, greater than 80 and less than 90, print A. If it is between 70 to 80, print B. If it is between 60 to 70, C. 50 to 60, D. 40 to 50, D minus. 40 to 0 or 0 to 40, F. And if the user is entering some invalid value, like and not a number between 0 to 100, we will print you have entered some invalid value. So this is a perfect example of if, elif and else. First condition goes with if keyword, all the remaining conditions go with elif, and the last statement goes with else. Else is not mandatory at all. If you don't want to put this, then also the program will work. It's not mandatory that every if elif letter should have an else. So suppose I write 23. Now if I write some invalid value like -5, it will not do anything because we did not write the else part. And if I write the else part and then I enter an invalid value, like suppose 700, you have entered some invalid value. Okay. Now let's extend this program further to see what are nested if else. That is, within an if, you can put another if else block. Inside the else or inside the elif, you can again put an if else block. Let's see how. So suppose we have the same program. Now if the number is between 0 to 50, I want to check. So I will just print this number is less than 50, or I'll print this number is in the range 0 to 50, and then I'll check whether the number is even or odd. So how to check that? Again, if else. If num, you divide a number by 2, this percentage is the modulus operator which returns us a remainder. If number divided by 2 is 0, print even number. Else, print odd number. So this if else is inside this if block. So this is being executed only if the number is between 0 to 50. Okay, so let's try it. So enter a number. Suppose I enter a number greater than 50. Okay, that means it will go inside this block. So no even and odd check will be done. So this number is in the range 50 to 100 and then the last digit. Now if I enter something between 0 to 50, suppose I enter 22, say the number is in the range 0 to 50, even number, that is this block also got executed. Similarly, you can use this if block inside the elif also, inside the else also, and now it will check even odd scenario for every number we enter. Suppose we enter 65, it's in range 50 to 100, odd number. If I enter even an invalid number, like suppose 9999, see this number is not in the range 0 to 100, but it's an odd number. So this is how you can make your programs much more interesting by putting some conditional checks there. That is, in these programs, not every statement is getting executed. Only after checking certain conditions, it is being decided which set of statements should get executed. So that was all about conditional statements. We have used if, elif, else, and nested if else today. If you have any query, you can put it on a Discord server or you can leave it in the comment section. We are also going to have a live Q&A session very soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, keep practicing. Happy coding.